Welcome to Suspire Talks, guys, where we bring to you the most inspiring voices in the Indian sustainable startup scene. For our fourth episode, we have the co-founders of Pure Cloth, an adorable, very cute brand for kids apparel. Welcome to our show, Nandini and Dhiju. Can you please tell us a bit more about yourself as well as your brand?
Hi, this is Nandini here. I'm the co-founder of PureCloth.co and basically an IT engineer, now turned into a full-time entrepreneur working towards reinventing the children's clothing landscape for a better future.
Hi, I'm Dhiju. Was an IT engineer, same like Nandini, but more passion towards fashions. It's like, however, I didn't discover that my passion toward fashion till I became mother. I'm a mother of two kids, and of course, Pure Cloth is my third child now. So creating a purpose-driven brand like Pure Cloth is yet another motherhood journey for me.
Amazing. That is so good to hear. Congratulations, guys, on your brand. Can you tell me a bit more about when you guys started? What are the sources of the inspiration for the creation of Pure Cloth, and why a kids fashion brand?
Yeah, you can start.
Yeah. You asked so many questions. So when we started is the first question, right? So yeah, obviously we both met at NIFT, our fashion college at Bangalore. And then we had a long cab journeys, which we used to, we shared the same locality. So we used to go in shared cab during our college days. And obviously, the discussion points in the cab journey was more on parenthood, fashion, and other topics which we like. So that is when we actually conceptualized the idea of let's do something, start something small, and do it in the space of kids because I have one daughter and Dhiju has one daughter and son, and so we exactly knew what were the challenges in the kids segment. So it all revolved around identifying, a good choice of sustainable clothing, or even how the kids' clothing used to get wasted because they used to outgrow it very quickly, right? So we knew the challenges very clearly. So we thought, let's start and see how we can improve the landscape of the children's clothing and ensure, reduce the waste that's generated. So that's how the whole idea started. And then the journey towards the Pure Cloth started.
Amazing. So when did you guys start? How long has it been?
So we met, both met at NIFT Bangalore. It's, I think, 2017. So it's like a good story behind that. When we started our college friends, so we started our group. And I think Nandini is, and I just put a message into, is there anybody's coming from South Bangalore, just like that. But next day, I think she was.
Yeah, I think it was a message to identify the commuting partner the first day of the college. And I received a message by the name of Dhiju telling, okay, I reside in the same locality. So next day, and by the name, I thought it's a male, And so the next day in the college, I was like asking for who's Dhiju and expecting a male hand to raise. But then I saw this beautiful girl there, and that's how we met. And we started our journey. Yeah. I think it's 2017 in the college.
Nice. That's such a nice story. I think initially Suspire started off with co-founder. So Deepak, who's my co-founder, we went back in undergrad where we sort of lived in the same apartment for 4 years, and we always stayed in touch throughout. I think one day we just decided to take our interest towards a startup, towards starting our own business, and towards the whole climate change environment aspect into actually doing something about it. So that's how Suspire also started. So similar stories in terms of how. If you can tell me a bit more about, you mentioned that the inspiration to start the brand was that you guys had your own children. You saw that the kids apparel space currently there's a lot of waste being generated. So there was a primary motivation for you guys to start your own sustainable kids apparel brand. Apart from that, is there something else that you thought that you were definitely going to differentiate in terms of the alternatives that we currently have? And what did you guys think that this is going to be your USP, and how are you going to build on that?
So that's a very good question. See, our USP didn't happen just in day one. I think our first collection we launched during August. That was the start of the festive season in India for Ganesha, Diwali, and everything. So that time we just started small, designing elegant festive wears for kids, and the primary focus was the comfort and the quality using natural fabrics. But I think as we progressed, we started building our brand on the circular fashion principles. And in that journey is when we discovered that sustainability in kids' fashion goes beyond your eco-friendly materials. So as per our research, we identified that kids change, infants mainly. Infants change 7 sizes before they even celebrate their second birthday and dispose close to 200 outfits. So this whole idea is when we conceptualized our Grow With Me collection. And till today is what we call it our USP. So with innovative closures and thoughtful designs, each outfit at Pure Cloth is designed to fit 3x times longer. And it effortlessly adapts to the growing body, both in terms of the length and the adjustable chest. So that is our main USP till today. For parents, we save money. And for planet, we save resources.
Wow, that's amazing. I wasn't aware of that actually. So that's such a, I mean, that's very unique. I've not seen a lot of brands do that, to be honest, and especially because, like you mentioned, right, children, you mentioned they change 7 sizes in the span of such a short time, and there's so much sort of, I mean, waste generated because of that, right? Because you need to keep sort of buying more. So that's such a key challenge that you guys are tackling, which is quite commendable. But yeah, great that you pointed that out because I wasn't aware of it, and I'm sure this USP that you have needs to be pushed out more in terms of letting more people know about the great work you guys are doing. So yeah, that's amazing. Another question I have is if you were to go back in time to when you started, it's been 6 years since you guys met. What were the things that you guys would do differently than what you guys had done?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because it's almost, I think, 5 years.
5 years.
5 years. I think it's a long journey. But starting, a lot of people think starting is just a clothing brand is very easy. Like if you know some level of designing knowledge, you can start a brand. But we are starting a business. Business is completely different. When we started, we didn't have any background. We didn't have any business background. We are not coming from a business family or anything. So it's all about developing your skill, because there are a lot of areas when it comes to business, like marketing, sales channels, your target segment, finance. It's like a big a big ocean. So but starting a sustainable brand, when that period, I think almost that 4 years before, it was very difficult for us to make an awareness to the customers because not much brands were there that time, and creating that awareness as a small homegrown brand was very difficult for us. But nowadays we are seeing a lot of brands, even the big brands also, like Sustainable Ember, like Suspire also, creating a lot of awareness. I mean, you guys are curating only with the sustainable brands, right? So that is giving us an opportunity, easily we can reach out to the wider audience. So, and that is one aspect, and one aspect is like a marketing, like a channel, sales channels and all. Because when we started with the small exhibitions, locally in Bangalore. So we are reaching out to very small audience, right? So, but again, there was no much marketplaces and not much, social medias were there. So nowadays we are getting these platforms, we are getting an opportunity to reach out to the wider audience. So I'm thinking, now this time that creating a good marketing strategy or the reaching out the perfect customer segment. If you could get that time, this level of expertise, we could have grown better. So that's the thing we are thinking, it will be great for us.
No, absolutely. I think we're all just starting off. Even Suspire, for example, we're only a year and a half old at this point, right? We've had so many challenges ourselves in terms of similar challenges like all sustainable brands face, like you guys mentioned as well, in terms of creating that awareness, spreading the word about what we're trying to offer, what the benefits, about why one must lead a sustainable lifestyle, how it's impacting the climate, and how it's feeling bearing the brunt of it. Right, we're seeing climate change is real. So I think in India, in particular context, since we're targeting India, right, like ours are mainly focused towards India, we're seeing that demand is increasing. It is increasing at a steady pace. However, I'm sure this is something that everyone is already aware is the future. In say 3 or 4 years time, we believe that this is going to be everywhere. Every brand, every individual is wanting to sort of lead a sustainable lifestyle and demand such products. So I believe brands like yourself and marketplaces like us, we're all working together for the collective goal of ensuring that we build to something bigger and we're prepared for when the demand does peak, which is in a couple of years' time. So we're facing similar challenges, and we're here to sort of help each other out. And I'm sure that everything, all the effort putting in collectively are only for the longer run, and we're going to see the results and we're going to see the fruits very soon. I think, very, very relatable in terms of challenges, very relatable in terms of how startups are functioning. So even the previous 3 interviews that we found us, we see a trend, right? We see that people are the main challenge is that is awareness. How do we sort of push the word out more? How do we make people more aware of what we're offering, of what the benefits are, of why they must do that? So I believe, of course, these are things that over time will also happen on its own. But what are the key marketing areas, or what are the factors that you guys believe that you're contributing, or that as a brand you believe that you're taking a step to build that awareness?
In terms of marketing, you're asking, right?
Yes.
Like as Dhiju mentioned, initially when we started, we were working in a very, very small scale with WhatsApp groups and exhibitions and all. But if you ask today, we are heavily investing on the online platform. So we have reduced our exhibitions, we have reduced our other offline channels and all, and primarily focusing on online, because we feel that is where the reach is wider. Pan India we can reach, the reach is wider, and that is the future.
Yeah.
So our full investment is on online, and obviously it has to be a collective effort. We alone cannot go and market it out. So that's why we are on marketplaces like Suspire and other marketplaces, which gives the correct environment or the mood for the shopping, like the sustainable marketplaces and everything. And also some sustainable life stores, like we are in shops across in Goa, Kochi, Hyderabad, across India. We are also in certain lifestyle stores.
Great. So I think online, of course, is one of the bigger ways, and we're seeing digital presence increase so much in India itself. But the often feedback we receive and sort of complaints we receive by customers is that they want to have that touch and feel of the product, right? Especially if it's an apparel brand like yours. And for kids, to trust a brand just online is pretty challenging, and is quite is something that customers really think multiple times before sort of making a purchase, right? It's not a very impulsive purchase. It's something that they're buying for their kids. So have you guys faced similar sort of challenges in terms of how your customers are sort of giving you guys feedback in terms of the trust factor, in terms of the offline feel and presence that they require?
Yes, I think that's a very good question you brought up, and I just remember that this was a very common question from the day when we started on online, because we used to call and ask. First thing is like, is it 100% cotton? Second thing is like, is the touch and feel? Because our majority sales is between the age of 6 months to 2 years, and for them, the touch and feel is very important. So recently, if you observe on our website, we have something started as a swatch book, where a customer can order a swatch book from us, so that they can actually go feel the fabrics, touch it and everything. And then they can come back and order the outfits for us, so that to avoid even returns or anything. And then also to give that trust and assurance to the customer. So what we are telling is what they're receiving. So as
we started the swatch book also like from a thought, like, because after when the production happens, a lot of cut pieces a lot of wastage will happen. So normally we curate accessories and other products from these cut pieces. We don't waste any of our single production scraps. So we curating the swatch book out of the scraps. So we just kept just a shipping cost only. It's not you have to buy it from in a big cost or anything. Just shipping charge. It's a free of cost. So just before buying, before taking any decision, it's easy for them to just try the fabric, just touch and feel the fabric. So you can check out our website. It's there in our website.
No, that is such a good idea. I think you guys have honestly, giving us itself a very good idea of how the complaints that we're facing in terms of them requiring that offline touch and presence can be directed in terms of something so simple, right? And that also is from the waste. You're not creating a different swatch book or creating different fabrics. You're generating that swatch book from the waste, which solves both problems here. So honestly, a very good idea, and we must sort of list that on Suspire as well in terms of yeah. No, amazing. I think that's a very good idea, and something that has gotten me thinking in terms of how we can also tackle that issue. So, great idea. So my next question here is in terms of how individually, right? Like, how do you guys live a sustainable lifestyle yourselves? What sustainability means to you? Because nowadays it's so widely used. There's so much greenwashing happening. There is, there's not just one thing that sustainability to each individual, if I ask them, could mean something else. So what is it that it means to you, and how do you sort of inculcate that in your own lifestyle?
Good question. So I'll take that up. And for us, sustainability is not something new. Especially like personally, how I practice in my daily life is, one is I practice mindful consumption. And the second one is like we embrace renewable energy wherever possible. Like we as a family, we live in a complete self-sufficient house where we don't have to worry about electricity, no water bills, no petrol bills. Like I've been driving electric cars from past 10 years, I guess, and it's completely on the renewable energy. So I think when we started Pure Cloth, so it was a very natural transition for both of us because we were already talking and living it. So at Pure Cloth, every vendor we engage with, we thoroughly go understand them and ensure that they work with natural fabrics and natural dyes, which are free of chemicals. And even our trims, like the buttons, the zippers, we ensure it's completely natural materials. And our packaging is also completely plastic free. So overall, it's not just on the product, the end-to-end cycle from the soil to the fabric to the packaging, we try to leave very less ecological footprint. So it's like very natural to us because we have been living that.
Even I'm coming from a small village from Kerala. So even that is one of our, when we used to discuss how how was our childhood. We don't use so much the plastic materials or anything. Everything was sustainable that time. So that is one of the reasons to start a sustainable brand. When we become mother only, we realize that how much clothing or even the kids are sizes are changing, and how much wastage is happening in the kids' clothing. Because in our time, we used to hands me down. We used to follow that. No, we'll just give to our cousins or our sisters, brothers, or something. We don't waste our clothes or any kind of products. No, we use till the end of the life.
And our parents used to buy one size higher on yours.
Yeah.
Right? But nowadays you buy it for kids, you think they're ready to wear. No, they want to have the perfect fit and everything. So, and it's unavoidable. Clothes can't grow, but only kids grow, right? So there had to be a solution, and that's where we started working on this Grow With Me collections.
Amazing, guys. That's such a big inspiration. I think what you guys have just told me also, it's so motivating as well for someone who's may not be living a very idealistic. There's not a perfect solution, but of course us, for example, we're trying to do our best, right? But just listening to you guys speak about how you guys are living a stable lifestyle makes me feel like I can do so much more in just my lifestyle. So honestly, very motivating, and which sort of pushes me to the next question of what is the advice you would give to people listening, to the consumers, of how they can at least make a switch. Let's say, where can they start from? Where are the small habits that they can start inculcating? So something that's not a very challenging for them to do. That's not a very big switch in their lifestyle, because often people hesitate to make that bigger switch. They want to start smaller steps, and that's what we recommend as well. Start small, start with smaller steps, and then you'll see that it's not as hard to do. So, what is the advice you would give to such people?
So sustainability, like you said, no, indeed, it's widely used. Like, but if you take a small decision, like a small impactful changes in your daily life, no, that will create a big impact. Like I normally follow minimalism. So before buying any products, I'll just think, is that really needed for me? Like, so what we really want to tell you guys, like it's a consume consciously and consume less. So because if you buy a quality product, it's a long lasting products, you can use it for longer time. You don't want to like change each and every time, right? So one of the main thing we used to like educate our customers is like be label conscious. Before buying any product, no, take a moment, just read about what it's made out of and how it is made out of. That's created big impact, because the small changes, no, it's enough to create this big impact.
And we do a lot of exhibitions in schools and everything. So wherever we get an opportunity to interact with kids, I think this is one thing we pass on to the kids, and telling them to read the label before even making a decision, because nowadays it's very easy to get carried away with the colors, the styles and everything, right? But something small, and I feel that at least few of the kids have really been thoughtful on what we are sharing and everything.
Even
And-
our kids started reading labels. They
Yes,
itself tell.
our kids religiously do so.
Because our kids going to a like a alternative school, so they don't have any uniform. So they have to wear, even cotton, natural fiber clothes only. So they are already aware of these things even before we educate them. No, they know these things. So they itself tell us like, like they used to come and tell the story about their friends and how they educate their friends to become a sustainable conscious person. So that's, we are thinking minimum like we did a small impact to our kids. And that's a great thing for us.
Oh, wow.
I guess to close, I think like what you told, transformation is a very, very gradual process. It cannot happen instantly. Like, so one thing is to start educating yourself, then take very small steps, and then always remember the mantra to reuse, reduce, and recycle. I think these are the simple things we can incorporate in daily life.
Wow, that is such good advice. So, we completely agreed, of course, to what you're saying. And the advice we also give is, of course, when you're purchasing something, be mindful about it. Think of the impact it's creating. Of course, human psychology is such that they may not always, agree to sort of reduce their consumption, right? They always, when it comes to apparel, people want to buy more. They want, they want to be on top of all the trends. And I guess what we're trying to say there is, of course, eventually the ideal goal is to sort of reduce your consumption, right? But even when you're consuming, consume mindfully. Like the materials you're buying from, like you said, make sure you're reading the materials, reading the labels. Shop local, shop organic, shop vegan, shop cruelty free. Make sure you're not harming the animals. And like there's so much that one can do, right? And it's honestly not very hard to sort of start at least somewhere. I think it's very much something that we should make people more aware about and help them sort of push them towards starting, in a very small fraction, if that's what it takes for them to at least start. So, which also reminds me actually to a conversation I was having in a previous interview where the founder of Live Bio, the brand called Live Bio, they're offering sustainability courses, and then people can sign up for courses and learn more about it. So I think that's also such an amazing idea, how someone can, start somewhere, learn a bit more about it, on their own time, right? It's not like it's a school, right? It can just be an online course, and you can read about it maybe half an hour a day. So I think something that also could be given a push, and then we should all sort of collaborate and see how we can, create that awareness, spread that awareness about these, necessary things in our startup and in our, sustainability ecosystem. So, yeah, I think that's amazing. My last question to you guys, before we close today, is what future goals do you have for Pure Cloth, and any other product expansions, or what exactly is the future look like for you?
Good question. Our future goal is obviously to be India's premium circular kids fashion brand. Okay, where like sustainability meets growth. And today, our journey, we are able to reach international markets like UK and US, and our offerings have been well received there. So currently, we offer girls and boys clothing in the range of newborn to 8 years. We offer clothing, gift hampers, and accessories. But and with the growing demand, we are delighted to announce that we have recently launched our eco-friendly toys collection, a one more category to our dimension. And we are getting a lot of requests from mother and daughter. Okay, so finally, what we want to achieve is to be an one-stop destination for sustainable children clothing and lifestyle products.
Nice, of course. I think very similar to our goal. We want to be the one-stop shop for everything sustainable, right? So, that's great, guys. Thank you so much for your time today. I think this has been really insightful for me as well as for everyone watching, I'm sure. I'm really glad to sort of have the opportunity of speaking to you guys and learning more about Pure Cloth. Wishing you the best, and hope we can do a lot more together in this space, and create that awareness, create that demand for such products, and yeah, do well together.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks equally here for giving us the opportunity. And all we wish is let's grow together, yeah, and spread the word.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Lovely speaking to you. Take care. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Swayam.
Bye.